Welcome everybody to Lions, Lies, and Billy Goats, episode 31. I'm Jeff. That's Paul. What were we just talking about before we lose too much? Oh, pro wrestling.
Wrestling, yeah.
Okay, so the reason we got into it because I just watched the most of the Royal Rumble the other night because I have Peacock now. And what were you gonna say? That I was talking about
We were
ladder
talking
match.
about because you mentioned Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's Dusty Rhodes' kid, right?
Yeah, that's Gold Dust's brother.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. What happened to Gold Dust? That's Dustin Rhodes, right? Dustin Rhodes?
Yeah,
Did
yeah,
he just
Dusty.
retire?
Yeah, he got all fucked up, man. Drugs and shit.
Oh, yeah. That
I
happens,
remember watching
unfortunately.
I follow a couple of YouTube channels that do wrestling. So once you watch one, the algorithm hits you, and you end up watching 100.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was funny. I caught one, which is why I brought the Rumble to you, because I just caught something before, and it was the Undertaker talking to Bubba Ray about how finishers aren't finishers anymore, and they were talking about the first time that someone kicked out of the 3D and how pissed they were.
You know who it was?
I can't remember now. It was it's not a jobber, but it was somebody who shouldn't have done it.
No, they were former tag team champs. Oh God, what was the name of their? It was they used to do this. They used to come down the ring like this. What the hell
Not
was
the
their?
Usos.
They were
Oh
like,
no, the you day you right the new day.
yeah. No, are you
No,
talking about WWE or their time in ECW?
no, it was the time in WWE the first time that their finisher that wasn't a finisher.
Oh, really?
The guy kicked out of the 3D, or
Oh, no kidding.
he punched out.
The one I'm thinking of is it actually happened in ECW. I can't recall the name of the group. I'll put it in the chat later for text.
Oh, Axel Rotten and Balls Mahoney.
No, it wasn't them. They were like super cool. But it was Johnny Grunge and damn, I can't remember the other guy's
Balls
name.
Mahoney.
No, Balls and Axel were a tag team. Um, but no, this was they were like a hip hop like
Uh,
they were like a hip hop tag team.
this one was in WWE because it was later.
Well, the reason I bring it up, right, is because you can actually like I have an interview with Bubba and Devon talking about it. And in ECW there was like this unwritten rule, right, where if you get hit with 3D, you know, the Dudley's finisher, not
Yeah,
only do you not you like you stay down. You don't get up, that's it.
correct.
You know, and if you do, you know, and by the time you do get up, you're down on the canvas for several minutes or whatever.
Yeah, yeah,
So
something has happened. Yeah,
so this super popular tag team, they leave, they go to like WCW, it doesn't work out. They come back to ECW and they wrestle the Dudley Boys. And they're just not they're not selling anything that the Dudleys are doing. You know, for those of you who don't know, selling means like I go to fake punch you and you play it off like you're really injured.
yeah. Your acting was cheesy.
Yeah. Or
You
you
weren't
weren't acting at all.
you weren't
So
committed to the role.
so they wind up beating the crap out of them, like actually beating them up. And like if you go back and watch like the match, you can see that they're actually like hitting these dudes.
Get in there, we have a big brawl with the Public Enemy. We're fighting. We hit both of them with 3D, or one of them with 3D, and as everybody well knows, once you get hit with 3D, you do not get up. Me and Devon walking up the rampway, and Johnny Grunge is on his feet after he just took 3D, and he's cutting a promo. Basically, he's not selling our finish, he's spitting in our face. Me and I looked at Devon, I said, let's go. We hit the ring, and we started to beat the shit out of the Public Enemy. I didn't want to go near Rocco Rock because I had too much respect for him. I did not have that kind of same respect for Johnny Grunge at the time because I respected Ted Petty for other reasons. And we beat the crap out of them and we told them, stay the fuck down. We leave, they're back up on the microphone. The beating was even worse. That was their last night in ECW.
There's a name for that. What's that called when they actually
Okay.
hurt you in the ring?
What's that?
What's the wrestling lingo? If you actually hurt someone in the ring on purpose, it's called something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Which is the entire purpose of the referee is actually there to watch the wrestlers and
Like there was somebody I was listening to one of the old cruiserweights. So it was like back when Jericho and Eddie and Dean Malenko were in or WCW. And one of the
good old
newer
days.
guys was popping off at the mouth. And when they got him in the ring, they put him in the ropes. And they were really smacking the shit
Yeah.
out of him on purpose to teach him a lesson.
You know who else is famous for that is Andre the Giant and Bam Bam.
Uh-huh.
If you go back and watch their match, Andre just, I guess he didn't want to put Bam Bam over. Bam Bam was like up and coming, and
Right.
Andre just literally beats the crap out of him.
Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff for that.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I don't want to lose my train of thought because I had another one that popped up. There is in the Royal Rumble, one of the older ones. The last two are Cena and Batista, right? And Batista picks up Cena to do a move like a power bomb or something, but they overplay it and they lose their balance and they fall out of the ring accidentally, like really accidentally.
Uh-huh.
And Vince McMahon gets all pissed off, and eventually he comes storming out. But he got all mad behind stage and like was throwing shit because they fucked up.
Right.
He has to come out and fix it, and he's running out, and he goes to dive into the ring, and he pulls his quad muscles on both legs.
Here comes the chairman of the WWE, Mr. McMahon, who does not look happy, and that's not a shackle.
You know what else is a famous example of that too is the Ultimate Warrior, who if you know anything about him, like his gimmick was fantastic. His shoots were garbage because you could never understand what he was saying. Plus they were like nonsensical, but he was a terrible wrestler. I'm just saying this because other wrestlers have said this. Obviously, I don't know Jim Hellwig, but when you go back and watch a lot of his wrestling matches, you can kind of see it. And apparently that's why they used to keep them so short, because he was so bad at wrestling and never really like had a desire to learn his craft, unlike his tag team partner Sting, who was like, full in on learning the business. So anyway, he has Ultimate Warrior has a match with Triple H, and not only like Triple H again is on the up and coming, like I think Warrior's supposed to win the match, but it's supposed to be kind of close. But instead, Jim just comes out and just literally is not having anything, not selling anything that Triple H is doing. Triple H hits him with the pedigree, and the Warrior stands back up immediately. Like, that's not cool.
That internet personality, Speed.
What's his name?
He's a little black kid, but he's all crazy. He got all famous for jumping and yelling and screaming. He's like Speed X or something. I didn't like him at first, but now he's kind of funny sometimes. But he was a special one of the 30s, right, at the Royal Rumble. And, I'm like, oh, this fucking guy, what is he going to do? You know what I mean? He's going to go in, do something funny, and, like, they're going to boot him out. So he comes in, and I can't remember for the life of me who did it, but he got full 100% speared like a motherfucker.
Pretty impressive standing backflip. Oh, my God! Breaker just about broke ISO Speed in half. One dog just killed another. He just sawed Speed in half. That's dogicide.
I want to give him credit, man. He took it.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to be a little puss, or he was just in there for, advertisement to bring in, the younger crowd or some shit because people watch him play video games.
Yeah.
But I want to give him credit, man. He took that. He took it like champ.
Yeah, he did. Kept the kayfabe going on the whole time. He might have been crying in the locker room, but none of us saw that. So
I saw like an afterwards when other wrestlers were like, give him a little props.
Yeah. I mean, like the whole wrestling thing is fascinating to me, like behind the scenes, because they all kind of police themselves in the locker room, and if you like break kayfabe, for example, they don't like that. You're going to get smacked around in the locker room behind the scenes.
Yeah, like everyone thinks wrestling is fake. It's a fucking joke, man. Nah, it's a business. This shit is real. I mean,
it is. Yeah.
I mean,
obviously the match outcomes are already fixed.
Yeah, it's scripted, but I mean, they're putting on a show. They're athletes. They're taking a beating.
Yeah, and sometimes it goes a little too far.
Yeah, they got mic skills. They're out there to do a job to make money.
Yeah, I was watching one not too long ago. Actually, I was watching a couple of them, like where people went too far, and there were two Japanese wrestlers. One was a female. I can't remember her name, but this one chick just beat the crap out of this girl. Like, it's not even wrestling at this point. Like, she's punching her, kneeing her, kicking her, and like she's actually hitting her. Like, I just felt really bad for her. And there's another one, I think, with the I think it's the great Sasuke. where he was, he's a veteran or whatever, and then they had some young kid in there, and again, he just wasn't having it. He just literally beats the crap out of this dude. I mean, the audience doesn't know, you
Right.
know, but yeah, when you look at it, it's like, oh God, like he's really hitting this guy.
Did you watch the video that I sent you guys? The with Michael Madsen talking about Johnny Depp. I
No,
sent it on the What's Up group text.
no, I missed it.
Okay, so Mike, you know who Michael Madsen is, the actor, right?
Yeah,
Okay, and he's plays Sonny Black in Donnie Brasco, and Johnny Depp plays Donnie
Johnny
Brasco.
Brasco. Yeah,
And he's like this little bitch. He's like he couldn't play the part. He's like any real guy would have whooped the shit out of him, knowing this guy's not a mobster. And he basically had no respect for like Johnny Depp's acting on that in that whole movie, which I thought was kind of funny.
like behind the scenes, like in real life.
Michael Madsen's like this is like right before he died, so he's all big and fat, and he's got his long hair. He's got Michael Madsen talking about the good old days, and he's on with one of the Baldwins, Stephen Baldwin, and he's like in Stephen Baldwin's podcast, and he's like, we can edit this. He's like, I don't give a shit. And he's like, and Stephen Baldwin like looks at his producer. He's like, can we talk about Johnny Depp? Are we allowed to talk about Johnny Depp?
Are they going to cancel us?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to get bad air, have Johnny's people pissed off at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, again, Michael Madsen's dead, so this is an old interview. But he's talking about how Johnny Depp doesn't like him anymore, and how he got into a fight in the Viper Room because Johnny Depp used to own the Viper Room. And some guy started a fight with him, and then he got like, put through a toilet, and the water was coming out of the walls and shit.
Oh Jesus.
But it's funny to hear Michael Madsen.
Like he got knocked through a toilet, or they gave him a swirly.
Oh, Michael Madsen said like he like got into it with some guys at the bar, and he went into the bathroom, and these guys came in the bathroom after him, and they punched him. He like went down through the toilet, and then he ended up whatever. It's a stupid story, but Johnny Depp owned the Viper Room at the time. Viper Room was that's where like River Phoenix died. That's like the tunnel almost.
I've heard of it. Yeah, that was like the hot spot back in the day.
Well, famous people could go there without and be famous in a club, and like Studio 54.
Yeah.
But
And not like get swarmed by fans and stuff.
Yeah, so it's Johnny Depp's version of Studio 54. But I thought it was funny how Michael Madsen, because the first half of the video, he's talking about Johnny Depp's acting, and it's just, you figure Johnny Depp's, fucking Johnny Depp, and he's like, just basically calling him a little bitch. He's like, he should never have been in the Mob movie at all. He just didn't fit the role.
I saw Donnie Brasco once. I don't really remember Johnny Depp's performance. But
I've seen that movie 50 fucking times.
Is he good?
It's good enough to watch once.
No, I mean, is he good? Is his performance good?
I never really doubted it until now. I'm gonna go back next time I watch it. I'm gonna be thinking about Michael Madsen because of the scenes that they have together. Because he's like Johnny Depp's Johnny Depp. You don't hang out with him on set. He's like
Right.
Johnny then goes away. He's like, I didn't spend 5 fucking minutes. I don't even know him basically.
Yeah, he was already a big star at that point. I mean, he'd already done like What's Eating Gilbert
but
Grape,
so
Edward
he-
Scissorhands.
He hangs out in his trailer and maybe he's a character role player. I don't fucking know. He doesn't get into it. He just says they're not really like buddies.
Right.
So it's just funny to hear Michael Madsen say it. So now when I see I'm imagining the scenes in my head of them in the movie together playing the roles. And now I'm gonna be looking at it like Michael Madsen's acting, but he thinks you're a fucking bitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's a good movie. I mean,
I remember it being good. I just watched it once.
it's good. I've seen it a bunch of times because it's a mob movie, and I've also got ADD, so I watch the same thing over and over and over again.
Right. So do I. I think a lot of us do that.
Yeah, it's comforting. It's an ADD thing.
Yeah. By the way, congrats to your birds.
This is
you guys-
yeah, thanks, man. We can talk about that too.
Yeah, you guys beat
But,
the refs. I mean the Chiefs.
Yeah, I would
Excuse
definitely
me.
suggest watching it again. I mean, I've also, because I'm obsessed with Mob, that I've also seen like the behind the scenes and the true story. Like
Yeah.
Al Pacino, I like Al Pacino's role in the movie, but that's not really how Lefty is in real life. He wouldn't be all frumpy and didn't have that hat and act all dumb. He's more of a tough guy as opposed to like Al Pacino's almost kind of goofy in the movie. You know what I mean? Even though he's got 26 kills under his belt, he's got a little bit of a, he's kind of like you feel bad for him a little bit.
Maybe that's his front. If you're a hitman, if you're a
Well, but what I'm saying is that until I saw the behind the scenes, that's not how Lefty Ruggiero was in real life. So he played the character, but here's what like the character was really like. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah.
though they're about real people.
yeah, Hollywood does that sometimes.
And I read I think Joe Pistone, who's the FBI guy who played Donnie Brasco in real life to go after the Colombo crime family. He's got 3 or 4 books about it. I know I read the first one.
Yeah, I might have to rewatch it. Like I said, it's been probably 20 years since I've seen that.
It'll be worth your time. Totally worth your time. It's good. It's got some great scenes.
Yeah.
Anne Heche is in it before she died. She's dead in real life now. Ellen killed her.
Who did?
Ellen
DeGeneres?
DeGeneres. I don't know if that's real, but
Oh.
Anne Heche is her ex-girlfriend.
Oh, no kidding.
You know who Anne Heche is?
I know the name
Do you remember the movie Volcano with Tommy Lee Jones?
vaguely.
She's the main girl in that. She's the girl in the movie with Harrison Ford where they crashed the plane on a desert island. Look her up. Look up Anne Heche.
I will. Yeah.
But anyway, then she got all crazy with Ellen, and now she's dead. And you know who else is dead? Joan Rivers. You know what Joan Rivers said 2 weeks before she got killed?
That Michelle Obama's a dude.
Yeah, exactly. This is all shit that's just been popping up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so how are you, Paul? Now that we're gonna start the show.
I'm good, my friend. I've been a little busy with work and stuff.
Like and share.
How are you? How is post Super Bowl treating you?
Good, man. Good. I went to Jersey and watched it with Pops, and we ended up watching it at the Masonic Lodge.
Okay.
So
Where's that?
it's at the corner of 46 and ITC North. It's like that chapel-looking building. Right? It's been there forever, but that's where it is. If you go home right now,
There's a gas station right there.
other
Right?
side of the street, same
Oh, okay.
side of the street.
So like over by Vincenzo's, kind of.
Nah, gas station.
Oh wait, no, yeah, that's further down. I'm sorry.
Street. Yeah, go across ITC North or South, or whatever road that is, right there.
Yeah, over towards like Waterloo Village area. Like
No,
going
that's
that
across 46.
way?
If you're
Oh,
46 is in front of you and the gas station is on your right and 80s to your right is right there on the left.
next time I'm in town, I'll look for it. I'm sure I've seen it a million times.
It's older than ITC
Yeah.
and older than the gas station.
RTC has been around for what, 20 years now? Something like that?
Well, it's
At least once they started building it up, because it was nothing there prior.
It's older than ITC South, which is where the Walmart and shit is.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm thinking of.
For as long as I can remember, that where BASF was.
Yeah, I remember they had like corporate buildings and stuff and warehouses there, but yeah, it wasn't the Lowe's wasn't there, the Walmart wasn't there.
Yeah, but the temple was.
Right.
Anyway, so I watched it there with my dad and his poker buddies, and I don't know, man. Like going into the game, like usually I'm all fucking nervous. I don't like to say shit. I think even if I say I think we're gonna win, I think I'm cursing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was different this time. I like felt it. I said to my dad before the game, and I'm like, our front four is gonna be up his ass all day long, and there's nothing they can do about it. And I was right. Zero blitzes.
Yeah. You guys look great, and at no point in the game were the Eagles ever really in danger or anything like that.
After the first 3 and out, and then they went 3 and out, and I was like, okay. And then we started getting the pressure on, and I just started feeling good. And then I keep telling my wife, I'm like, you want to see a grown man cry? I'm like, just keep showing me that Cooper DeJean fucking pick 6.
16, Mahomes rolling out, looking, firing, intercepted, picked up by Cooper DeJean, gets a block, DeJean is in, touchdown!
I saw it on replay a couple times.
And then the touchdown to the deep pass to Devontae Smith. And I remember seeing them like, that's it. Like, that's the game right there. And then I saw the replays and Sirianni's mic'd up. And he's like, let's put the game. When he's calling the play, he's telling the offensive play caller, he's like, just call it. He's like, let's put it away. Let's put it away right now.
Yeah. They definitely did.
I still was like, all right, man, I've seen Michael Vick score 28 points in 7.5 minutes. So, but I'm saying that is the bar I hold every game to. You know what I mean? I'm not comfortable until I'm 28 points ahead with 7 minutes left because I saw it happen at 7.5.
Yeah.
So that's usually when I start feeling comfortable. But man, I was good. I felt good the whole game. I mean, I was
feel that.
walking around nervous and shit and pacing, and it was pretty empty. There was only like maybe 20 people there. You know, it was like a huge venue because it's a hall. Like you got wedding receptions down there. So it was like on the big screen projector. You know, so I was just pacing around, fucking, you know, keeping it nice and not getting too loud. But I would, you know, when an interception would happen or a big tackle or something, I'd be like, all right, clap and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. I don't like to jinx or say anything really either, you know. Yeah. And I'm never comfortable until the clock hits 0. But when the Birds were up by, you know, you guys were up, I think 2 or 3 scores, like with just a few minutes left, I'm like, oh, this game's over. You know.
Yeah, that was a fucking good time in that game. We talked about that last time, didn't we?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I had to go because I had to start up top because Michelle was alone.
Yeah.
So yeah. Did you check the Daytona 500 at all? I saw that Trump was there. I didn't watch it. I was gonna watch it.
No.
I was gonna put it on in the background, like on Crack Stream.
No, he was obviously at the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And then now he's at Daytona 500. I think that's good. You know, for the president to be showing up at, you know, a lot of these
his limo did the first lap.
Did it?
Yeah, so it was not
I didn't see that.
car. It was like the starting car, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's a picture of him getting out of the car, right? And I don't know why. I mean, it has occurred to me before, and I've seen like videos of them making these armored limos for the president. But the door is like this thick, dude.
I'm sure. Yeah. It's got to be bulletproof, right?
Yeah, I bet she's more than fucking bulletproof. They can probably stop 50 cals, RPGs.
Oh, I'm sure.
Probably anything that an infantry guy could carry. You know, maybe not a Stinger or something, but I mean, an RPG grenade type weapon, that thing could probably live through one. I'm not saying it's going to keep moving.
Yeah.
But probably get your one shot and not die.
Yeah. Did you see that plane yesterday that flipped over?
The upside down plane?
Yeah.
I
think it was in Toronto or something. Or?
A little bit.
I didn't see much on it. I mean, yeah, I think a couple people got hurt. I hope they're okay, but it looks to me like pretty much everybody survived.
There was so that plane crashed around here a few weeks ago. That made national news, and then there was a fire down the street that made news last night in Jenkintown. Enough that they were like, "Oh, the air might be fucking shitty by you today." But big 3-alarm fire, 4-alarm fire. I don't know. What's the big one? What happens in Backdraft? One of those.
Oh my God, I haven't seen Backdraft since I was a kid.
Nah, I watch Backdraft every once in a while.
I remember it being good. I just haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah, Jennifer Jason Leigh is in it.
She's good.
Yeah, I like her because Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I always got a little love for them.
She was in a Single White Female.
Yeah.
The last movie I think I saw her in was I think it was Annihilation. I don't know if you ever saw that with Natalie Portman.
She's in a TV
that
series.
Her?
Did you see the TV series Weeds? It was on Showtime for a minute.
I know of it. I've never seen it.
She's in it. She's like the sister who comes later, but
I think she's also in Blade Runner 2049 too, if I recall correctly.
That's possible. Oh, she's good in The Hateful Eight.
Yeah, that's right. We were just talking about that in the last episode.
Dahmer dude.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, she's a good actress. I was gonna say something, then I lost my train of thought. Couldn't be that important.
You know, bring up the Panama thing real quick.
Cambodia?
Yeah, the canal. I just thought it was interesting, and it's only going to take like 2 seconds. So the blue line is whatever river, the Mekong River, right?
Mm-hmm.
So technically, Cambodia doesn't really have a river system that goes to its coast. It has to pay penalties or tariffs or taxes or whatever to go through Vietnam. And China's having beef with Vietnam. So China is going to help out Cambodia to build this canal so they can cut out the Vietnamese. And
Diverted here.
China's going to get themselves a little naval base down there.
Oh,
I just thought that was interesting. Throw it out there too,
geopolitics.
in case it pops up later. Yeah. I think I gave you 3 maps to look at.
Yeah, you gave us some more.
So yeah, so that's for the naval base. And
Marine
that's
naval base.
probably just the river system.
And
Yeah, see, so Cambodia's technically got 2 rivers. There's some big freshwater lake there, but I don't
yeah,
know.
you can see it here.
They don't have they don't have it straight to the ocean with a doable port. So they're going to build the canal and a port just to cut out Vietnam.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, they pretty much already control this whole sea anyway, with them in India.
Right, but again, because it's so cheap to travel and move goods by water, that all the goods coming out of Laos and Thailand that travel down that river come out at the bottom of Vietnam, and they're having beef with Vietnam. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
So
you have this little bay here, or whatever you call this.
yeah, they're building the whole new. They're Silk Road. They're Belt and Road, Silk Road. And there's 2 of them. They have the new Silk Road, and then they have Belt and Road. So the new Silk Road is just what it sounds like. It's going to be a trade route that basically avoids the Indian Ocean, so they can cut out India if India gets all powerful and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to come out into the other side into Pakistan, and then it goes into the water, and then it goes up into the Gulf or up into the Suez Canal.
Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, their Belt and Road, and I saw a good video on this. I think I sent it to you. So like the World Bank and the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, is basically the world's central bank. You know what I mean? We all fucking kick in.
The world has a central bank?
Kinda. It's like it's how the world gives loans to small countries. And the loans they know they can't pay back, so then we can come in and take their shit.
That sounds lovely.
So so the World Bank loans with the intent to get back, and IMF invest. It's basically it's 2 different companies, but it's the same thing. All right, it's still all run by the same fucking people. But China doesn't. They're not. That's not their cup of tea. They use what's called Belt and Road. So they come in, instead of loaning you the money, they come in and build up the shit themselves, and then take all your shit. And then when you can't figure it out and pay for it, then you owe them your shit. So it's just their version of an IMF loan or a World Bank intervention.
Mm-hmm.
They just call it Belt and Road.
It's usury at the end of the day, right?
It's I mean, they're I mean, I guess it's almost a colonization, right? Instead of doing it with an army, you do it with a bank.
Economically, yeah.
Yeah. It's economic warfare.
Interesting. Well, I mean, so yeah, there's been a couple things going on recently. I don't know. I know Tulsi got confirmed.
I saw that.
RFK got confirmed. We're just waiting on Kash or Cash. I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, but I'm hearing that they might know by Thursday because they delayed his vote for whatever reason.
Well, I don't know.
But there's that. What else has been going on? The whole tariff situation.
Well, they're delaying his vote is because they're fucking trading horses at the corral, and it's you want my vote? Well, I want fucking $30 million for this project in my state. I want you to, I want your support on my legislation that comes through next month.
It could be.
Why else would it be? You know what I mean? They already know they're voting yes or no. It's not like this is all fucking. This is part of the circus.
Yeah. Well,
You think
I don't.
Lindsey Graham was suddenly like, oh, I like Tulsi. I was wrong the whole time. And RFK, I knew I was.
No. In Lindsay's case, no. I don't know what we talked about that. I have no idea what happened there. But yeah, I don't know. I just know Cash has said that he's going to release lists. You know. So
And going on in addition to that, with if Cash gets in, they just Trump put a board of Congress people who are going to be who are also going to be looking at said lists of the JFK and the RFK thing.
yeah,
But,
Anna Paulina Luna.
yeah, but Burchett's on it. I saw
I
his,
know.
so
That's the only part that makes me feel good about it. But a lot of people on Twitter have been complaining about it, including to Anna, like commenting on her, on her tweets, saying like, "Why don't you just release it to the public? Then you guys can have your little investigation. Let us pour through it." And I think they're right. Why do you guys have to put a committee together so that you can release the information? Just release the damn information. Let us go through it. We'll figure out what happened.
it's just a way kicking the can down the road to not actually do it.
I get it, but I don't like it.
No, of course I don't like it. It's fucking politics. I'm not saying it's okay because if they wanted to, they would just be out and fucking Ian Carroll and Schellenberger and Talibi and all these other motherfuckers who do this shit would just be would be doing their request for information acts, and they would have all this information. And they could tell us what's going on.
Yeah. And you guys could still have the investigative committee and all that to try to piece all of this together, but just release the information.
Yeah.
Then go ahead and do your little committee thing.
Yeah, what they should do is call them because they're the ones looking at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chet should be like, oh, Matt Taibbi went through all this crap. Him and Schellenberger did this. They did the Twitter files. What'd you guys find? Oh, this guy found something else. Let's hear what he has to say too.
Yeah, people are just speculating that it's like, oh, they're just trying to frame. Again, I don't know. But why not just release it to the public?
The same reason they haven't been, man. Have you
But
seen?
these are supposed to be the good guys, right?
Yeah, man. But whatever.
I don't know. Anyway, that's So
You
that's
see,
what's going on with that.
The clip that keeps going out. It's like, oh, they released the extra version of the tape. You can see the Secret Service agent turn around and shoot Kennedy, but you really can't because it goes off screen. Have you seen what I'm talking about?
The driver?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's legit or not.
Right, but as the camera angle comes, right, and like Kennedy gets the first shot, and then the second one is the one that comes from the driver, and that's when she jumps out of the car. But the camera angle, the car like dips out of frame, like you can still see her head, but you can't see like the guy in shotgun or Kennedy.
Oh, the video I've seen, you can actually see the driver straight up turn around and shoot the guy.
The one that keeps getting clipped, it's like you can kind of see it, but it's like the camera stayed still and the car went in and out of frame.
Oh, maybe there's a couple different ones. Again, I don't even know if it's accurate. It could be AI. I have no idea. I never saw it before until recently. So yeah, at this point, like, why even speculate what happened? Let's just wait for them to release the information, and then we'll know the truth. So I don't really even see a point like debating it at this
Here's
point.
the deal: even if that shit comes out, right, and it's like, and we get a perfect shot of the video of him getting clipped, bang, and then the driver turning around or the Secret Service guy in shotgun turning around to make sure the job is finished when Jackie jumps out of the seat. Even then, like, oh, look, now we have the video proof, but it's still like, who paid that motherfucker to do it?
Well, that's the
If
whole
the Secret
idea, right?
Service guy is willing to shoot the president, is he really Secret Service? Is he Mossad? Is he CIA?
Yeah.
The video only doesn't give us anything without the investigation.
Yeah. No, again, I'm all for the investigation, and I think everybody else is fine with it too, at least when I'm reading on Twitter. It's just release the information to the public and then go ahead and do your investigation and let us pour through the files too while you guys are doing your investigation. I think that's the argument that they're.
I'm losing a lot of. I didn't really have faith, but the optimism that I might have had of anything that revolves around our friends with the little hats in the country over there is not going to go any way we hoped.
No, it doesn't look good.
I am confident that not confident. more optimistic that what is happening with Doge in a lot of, especially USAID, and the uncovering of what our intelligence agencies have been doing is having a little bit of ripple effect throughout North society. I think some people are starting to come around a little bit more to shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy to me that some people are just straight up like, well, first of all, I thought this meme was funny, right?
It's great.
What's that?
I said it's great.
Yeah, because I mean, like, people seem to have forgotten that like Elon founded PayPal. He's had my financial information before because I used PayPal back in the day.
Who else has your information besides the government who already has it? Your boss, your bank account,
Everybody, yeah,
your credit card, the guy you got your car from, the person you got your house from, your
yep.
credit cards,
If you
all
got
that.
TikTok on your phone, China probably has your data too.
Well, I'm not talking about data. Let's say hypothetically, like your social. No one could ever say no one has your social unless you give it out. Obviously,
Right.
this isn't just, so. Yeah, it's just a stupid argument.
Yeah, I mean, overall, with the whole Trump thing, I generally like what he's doing in a lot of regards. You know, there's the whole Doge thing. There's the the tariff situation with the immigration issues.
I don't like tariffs.
Well, he's only threatening with tariffs. He's not like necessarily trying to use them.
Okay,
Basically, police your border. We're going to tariff you.
that works out two ways then. So either he puts the tariffs in, and that hurts us, or he fronts. They call him on his bluff. He looks like a pussy, and nothing happens. But
I don't think he's fronting because yeah, would it impact us? Sure.
Well, if they call his bluff and he puts them in, we still get fucked because tariffs hurt the country that imposes them the most.
Is it? Maybe I need to do more research on tariffs because that's not how
Yeah,
I
you're
understand
looking
it.
at it like you're looking at tariffs as soft power and economic power, as pressure, as coercion, as force.
Well, yeah,
Okay, but at the end of the day, we pay that. If there's a tariff on something, the consumer pays.
I get that part. Like I
Okay.
understand that it will affect Americans, but when you compare, let's just compare America to Canada for a second, right? Like, what is it like 60% or whatever of Canada's exports are to the United States, something like that. So yeah, it's going to hurt us, but from what I understand, it's going to completely demolish the Canadian economy. So it's not really like they have any like say in the matter. You know, we're either going to police our border or you guys are going to crash our economy. Essentially, is what it sounds like to me.
Well,
And I think that's fair. We're just asking you to police your border, which is
I
also our border.
understand the argument of using tariffs to achieve foreign policy goals. Okay, I understand
Okay.
the strategy. I'm just telling you, it is what it is. It's still economically, it's still fucking a stupid thing to do.
All right, you know more about it than I do, so I'll have to brush up on my research a little bit.
Again, it's just because economically in the world of free markets, it doesn't make sense to do it. And like Mersheimer says, like states act rationally to them. You know what I mean? So if the state, America, Trump, or whoever the governor, the president might be, acting on the interests of American foreign policy, then yeah, economic warfare is 100%, in the cards to play. I just
I
don't think
mean,
it's the right move.
so
It's just
like what
politics. I just think it's shitty politics.
well, so what would you do if you're in Trump's scenario? We have this massive immigration problem, and from what I've read, a lot more of the immigrants are now coming from Canada than they are from Mexico. And I'm just specifically talking about Canada, but Mexico's obviously involved
Because
too.
there's a lot that goes there. I watch that Ironclad channel all the time. I'm a border guy.
So if Canada's refusing to do its part to police its half of the border, what would your solution be? How do you get them to comply?
I don't know, but I mean, I understand the use of tariffs to get what you want. I understand force.
I mean, it just comes off to me at least like a non-violent way to get these people to comply. And I don't think we're asking for much. Just police the border. That's it.
No, I get your
Something that
argument.
you should be doing anyway, right? If this wasn't the United States of America and we were, some hostile country, I bet you Canada would be policing their border.
Yeah, no one's
And Mexico too, of course.
trying to get into Canada. No one's trying to get into Mexico.
That's fair. That's fair.
Look, I understand the game is the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get it. I just, I don't think there's a need to impose tariffs as long as they ask the very minimal thing that we're asking them to do. That's kind of how I see it. Like nobody has to be tariffed. Just police your damn border, please, pretty please, with a cherry on top.
So pretty please, with sugar on top.
The fact that we have to resort to things like that, like why is Canada like not helping? Like why is it like why wouldn't they be trying to help us as I mean,
That's
I
a
don't
good
see
question.
what's in their best interest to support the destabilization of us. If we go under, that's even worse for them.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
They're-
from what I read, 60% of their exports come right here. So you
Yeah.
take us out of the market, you guys are in deep shit.
Not even think of something. I mean, hypothetically, they can fucking sell their shit somewhere else. But at the end of the day, we're a good neighbor to have. We're not Mexico, who's got the cartel problem.
Yeah.
We also make sure no one fucks with you because you're in our house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, from what
That
I
was-
understand, though, a lot of the fentanyl is coming from Canada.
Yeah, no shit. That doesn't matter where it's coming from, but
Well,
like
it does because we're talking about borders, right? How are they getting it in here? Through the Mexican border, through the Canadian border, some
if
other
it's
means?
ocean, through the air, under the ground, who gives yeah, but I'm saying is as Canada as a nation, it doesn't it's not in their best interest to have us destabilized.
I agree.
Okay.
And it's not in our best interest to have them destabilized.
So what doesn't do us any benefit to have a destabilized neighbor either?
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
So
Yes.
what is their incentive? What is the plan of Trudeau and whatever party he leads up there? The what is their incentive to do what they're doing to us that requires Trump having to use terrorists as a
Putting Trump in this position. Yeah, that's a good question. I think maybe we know the answer to it, but
well, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's because they're fucking globalists and Trudeau is completely in that house of
Trudeau has bosses. He has masters.
yeah, and his masters are the same ones that the DNC answers to.
Yep. A lot of them are, yeah. So I think that's you kind of just hit it on the head.
He's a
He's a
world
puppet.
World Economic Forum type of. I don't know necessarily.
He's a puppet. He's not on the low like the low rungs, but he's not at the top of the heap either. He's somewhere in the middle.
Well, I was gonna try to give him a little credit. I was gonna say he's not quite a pawn. He could have been a bishop, but nah, he's not even that high.
But yeah, that's fine.
He's a pawn at best.
I don't know. He might be a bishop or a knight, but he's not a rook. He's not a queen. He's not a king. He's none of that.
I don't see him even going in there and like making moves and doing like I'm not saying like you have to be a world leader to be a stronger piece in the game. I mean, like RFK is a piece, I mean, because he has power to go and do things. You know what I mean? Like the Secretary of State is something that can do shit like that.
Yeah.
I don't see Trudeau being quite the diplomat or the type of person who wields force.
I don't think he is. Like I said, I think he's a puppet. He does what they tell him to do. And as long as he does that, he'll either stay in power, he'll have money, he'll have whatever. His kids will be set, their kids will be set, so forth and so on,
He gets to drink the blood of children, do all the fun shit. If he probably doesn't even get in, they don't let him in. He's all pissed off and bitter about it. He's like outside the house, so he knows the party's going on. They won't let him in.
By the way, didn't he resign? Like, as soon as they elect somebody else, and that seems to have gone away really quick. I think he actually got a favorable boost with the whole Trump thing because Canada's the Canadian media has convinced the Canadian people that it's our fault and that we don't want to be friends with Canada anymore. It's like, nah, fuckers, we just want you to police your border, and then we don't hit you with tariffs, and we're all good. We can still be friends. But that doesn't seem to be the message that the Canadian media is portraying to the Canadian people.
Since we're in the world of those people, What do you know about the black eye thing? Tell me about that. I know you know something.
Oh, the Black Eye Club.
Yeah, remind me of that.
Apparently it's some kind of initiation feature. I'm I don't know that much about it. I know
It's like a humility thing.
I don't exactly know why they do it. It's some kind of like initiation into like one of these cults, you know, and there's a couple of them.
So it's like here. It's like here. Let us punch you in the face, and then you have to go show everyone that you got the hit. And now
Yeah,
now
because you'll notice that a lot of these people are photographed afterwards, you know,
Mhm.
like celebrities and all of that. So I think that's what it is, just to show everybody, show the public, and most people have no idea what they're looking at, but to show everybody that does know what's going on. Oh, okay, this person's been initiated. I think that's the general idea.
And then
Um
the
eh,
other interesting thing I heard is, which I never knew because I was raised Lutheran, right? So Martin Luther is a guy I actually know a whole lot about, right? We even learned about Martin Luther in school.
mhm.
What do you think I'm going to say about Martin Luther?
I already know what you're going to say. He wrote a book.
You wrote a book.
He wrote a book.
You know the name of the book?
It has something to do with the J word. I know that.
Yeah, and their lies.
There
That's
you
the name.
go.
The people with the little hats and their lies. I had no
And I
idea.
don't think I know we're not talking about all of the Jays, but the Jays that are in power.
The game's the game, all right? The game's the game. So if you can't understand that, then
Oh, it's facts. I mean,
the
again,
game is the game.
say whatever
Well,
you want. Who runs the world?
I remember learning about Martin Luther in school. And again, I was raised Lutheran. I went to fucking Sunday school. I got confirmed. All that good shit. No idea. Because no one's
Yeah.
getting mad at our friends with the little hats on when they sell used cars or toiletries or anything else like that. It's only the usury that becomes an issue. That's what
I agree. I agree. I think that's the one of the big problems because it basically traps you. You know, you're basically you know, become like a
doesn't
financial
matter.
slave.
Um, did you? Oh, here's a good thing I saw with Elon. Did you see how Elon caught the rat in his company? He had someone leaking information.
No.
So they sent out an email to everybody, knowing that something on it would get leaked, right? But they sent everyone a different email with different spacing or different lines or blah 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 blah. So when it got posted, they looked at the picture, did the math, and they knew who leaked it based on how many the it was like three spaces here, one space there, two spaces there. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah.
so like that to
Smart.
catch it.
Sounds like what Tyrion does in Game of Thrones.
Well,
You
yeah, it tells
know.
a different story, and then you
Yeah.
see the story gets out.
I am your loyal servant.
So loyal that you told the Queen about my plans to send Marcella to Dawn.
No, never. No, it's a falsehood. I swear it. It wasn't me. Varys. It was Varys the spider.
See, I told Varys that I was giving the princess to the Greyjoys. I told Littlefinger that I planned to wed her to Robin Arryn. I told no one that I was offering her to the Dornish. No one but you.
Eunuch has spies everywhere.
Cut off his manhood and feed it to the goats.
No.
I mean, that was smart.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe we should get in. I'm sorry. Did you want to continue?
I just thought that was pretty good. That whole
That is really smart. Good way to find out who the moles are. Let's
bring
yeah,
up the
maybe-
room. I can't believe you didn't see this.
Oh, the Roomba.
Yeah,
I've been conscious of things like this for a while now. So I actually gave my Roomba to a friend before I moved here. Uh so yeah, I'll just read it. So a Roomba photographed a woman on the toilet and it ended up on social media. Now, AI experts have this warning about bringing tech into your home. I would love
what I thought was fun, not as funny, interesting, or it caught my eye or whatever, is that some asshole, some pervert, hacked into Roombas to drive those things into bathrooms to look up chick skirts.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately there's people out there that will do that.
Well, yeah,
I don't know if I should tell this story, but I have a friend of mine who shall remain nameless. He, I guess, I guess when he watches porn, he uses his phone. I don't
Mhm.
know if that's common practice or whatever, but anyway. So a couple years ago, somebody sent him ransomware. They sent him a video of himself doing the act,
That's funny.
and like I
Us.
know it is kind of funny now, but at the time it was like super traumatizing for him. You know, they obviously try to blackmail him. He had a girlfriend at the time, you know, and I don't know if they were able to. I think they were able to pull her number up like through his phone because again they kind of hacked into his phone.
Right.
Um, but yeah, they like threatened to like send it to her and stuff, and yeah, it was just really it's wild, man, what some of
Like
these people can do.
I don't know. I mean, I'm old school, man. I'm not a big. I mean, I'm not a porn dude. I don't just watch porn. Like people are addicted to porn. I don't get it. That shit's fucking boring.
Well, everything in moderation, I would say.
Yeah. I mean, even fucking Skinamax back in the day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, if somebody for whatever reason was able to get a video of me doing that, and you're gonna try to blackmail me, fuck you, man, release it.
Yeah.
You know,
What do
like
you
whatever.
like? It's not like I'm because I know I'm like anything I've ever looked up dirty isn't like it's not like I have like a feet fetish or anything like illegal. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I
Well,
was
they
a
didn't necessarily see what he was looking at. They just saw him, you know.
yeah. Well, I get it, but you can still tell like the web searching, right? Like it's not like you were looking at like I don't even want to say anything dirty, something dirty. You know what
Yeah,
I
we'll
mean?
get canceled.
Underage, whatever. Like when
Well,
you
I
get,
mean, that's a felony, though. All right, that's illegal, right?
I was using the word milf before fucking that movie came out.
Yeah.
What movie is that?
I don't know, but yeah, be careful. I don't have any tech in my house.
I can't think of that series.
What's that?
What series? What movie series is that? Why can't I think of it? With Jason Biggs and Stifler.
Oh, American Pie.
American Pie. Yeah. Before that whole thing came out with her,
Yeah.
I was like, get on me. People jumping into my peeing in my pool. That's my world.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I would just advise if you do have any of these things in your house, you know, maybe take some precautions. You know.
Whatever, man. Like I've had this stupid Amazon robot in here forever, but I also have a smart TV. I have a cell phone. I have a laptop. You know what I mean? Like it's not like oh my god, he's gonna get me because Jeff Bezos' little contraption over there is listening to every word that I say. You know what I mean? Like even if I
Yeah.
got rid of that thing, I still have my cell phone, and I can't even take the battery out because that doesn't even work anymore. And I can't take the SIM card out because they don't make phones that allow you to take the SIM cards out anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair.
There's a reason that Hillary Clinton and her people were smashing their phones with hammers.
You know, I think everybody now has a cell phone, so even if you remove some of the devices like the Alexa, you know, the Roombas, yeah, there's still other methods that, you know, that you can have your privacy invaded.
Well, I told you the story I heard in grad school when they actually were trying to spy, and they used the metal in the thermostat to read the vibrations in the room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were talking about that. Yeah, I mean,
When I was down in DC, because I think about it now, because now I'm all like free Snowden. Before I was like, ugh, you know, I was all questionable about the guy.
yeah,
Because when I was in DC and I went down to K Street and I was over at FireEye, they're not on K Street, but FireEye is a big cyber warfare firm down there. It's almost like it's famous, like the Heritage Foundation is famous. You know what I mean? It's like FireEye is big time. But I remember like going there, and like even my cyber warfare professor, like they wouldn't even say Snowden's name. They would say, "He who remained nameless" or something like, or "He whose name we will not say," something like that, because they didn't even want to say Snowden's name because they were all it was all Intel department people. I didn't realize how fucked up the people I was hanging out with were at the time because I was still drinking.
mm.
I can't imagine back down there now and be like, so the Federal Reserve. I'm going to talk about the Federal Reserve. You know, if I knew what I knew now back in fucking 2013 when I was in there, imagine I was sober in Congress and I was walking by all those motherfuckers.
Yeah. Well, if either of us knew, I mean, I'd probably be a wreck right now, just being awake for that long. I mean, I haven't even been awake that long. I can only imagine somebody like Alex Jones or somebody like that who's been, you know, aware of all this stuff for decades and nobody's listening to him. They're listening to him now. but they weren't 20 years ago. I'm sure he had followers, but it's just God, man.
I
Poor
remember
guy.
I remember roaming the halls of Congress, like under, like it's because it's all connected underneath,
Hmm.
and they didn't give a fuck what I did. Let me go do whatever I want. They didn't care. And I was just ridiculously hungover. Half the time I was fucking sipping on when I was in there anyway, trying to stay normal.
Yeah.
So I'm walking around hanging out with congressmen and shit, saying what's up, eating in the cafeteria with all types of fucking people. And now I'd be like, you fucking bitch. I know what you did. You
Yeah.
bitch. Get out of
How are
here.
you worth so much money?
Like Thomas Massey, you're the man.
Thomas Massey is the man. Run up and just give him a big hug.
Yeah, but
He's probably like, security.
I can work for you. My congressman's boring.
So speaking of politicians and shady stuff, our boy Javier Milei, did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't.
I don't have the details on it yet, so I'm
Right.
gonna.
I think Libre, right? Is the coin?
Yeah, apparently he endorsed this crypto coin, which turned out to be a scam. Just 3 hours later, apparent. That's what I've heard, but I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I also heard that last summer he sent a lot of Argentina's gold to Israel. I don't know if that's true.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, I'm just gonna leave it there. Let's see what happens with old Javier.
I saw that. I didn't dig into it because it was fresh, but like I saw that the Haksu girl like came out and tried to defend herself. But I guess it didn't go well for her.
Deleted the video. Yeah.
So I again, man, I think that she got played. I don't.
I think so, but she's not helping her she wasn't helping her case in the pseudo apology video that I saw.
I didn't even. I don't know. I just.
I
Feel
don't
like,
really know a lot of details about it other than people got robbed.
You know, I know what I saw of her before, and everything she was doing with her fame seemed like to be her having fun and giving all her money to animals.
Yeah, I heard that.
And then I feel like that maybe, hopefully, she got in, had a bad manager or a bad friend or took a bad business deal and thought that she was doing some good and ended up screwing people.
I was watching something on that. I don't know, maybe about a week ago, maybe a couple days ago. I can't remember, but I think it was like Penguin Zero or somebody I was watching, and yeah, they basically though they said that she was like promised like $1 million or something like out of that because she had just said that like all of the money was supposed to go to charity, but somebody did a little research and was like, no, she's actually supposed to get like $1 million from this
I'm
deal.
not talking about the money from the coin. I think that she didn't back the coin, even though she was getting paid to do so. I don't think that she did it maliciously, knowing that a bunch of people were going to get screwed over. I don't.
Maybe
think,
she didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that she purposely made the conscious decision to do that. I think that she got taken advantage of. That's what I want to think.
Yeah, she very well might have. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really care about her. Like, no offense, Haley. Like, I hope you're happy and have a wonderful life and you're successful and continue to help animals because I love that. But like her like she just doesn't really matter to me. Why? What is she famous for?
Who cares why she's famous?
I care. That kind of tells me a lot. Like, what did you blow up for? Why should I listen to her? Why should I?
Why should you listen to anybody?
Well, again, why do I listen to you? I respect you. It's hard for me to Go ahead.
Do you think that she knew when she made that stupid joke that was going to go fucking viral?
No, of course not. And I'm not holding it against her, but it's just like, I don't know. I don't know her.
Exactly. What you do know, what you can tell, is that she took her 15 minutes of fame. She had a good fucking time. She met a bunch of famous people. She donated all of her time and charity, a lot of her money to a bunch of fucking animals. And then out of nowhere, she screws over millions of people and disappears.
You know what? You're right. I think I'm being unfair.
I think you're being unfair too.
I am being unfair. You're right. I'm sorry, Haley. Yeah. Again, I don't know her, so maybe she's a wonderful person. And again, she did.
Taken advantage of, just like other young, naive people do when they hit the limelight.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know why they call it limelight, by the way?
Why?
Because back before they had like
the green room.
What?
Didn't they have a green room before you would go on?
No, before there was like electricity and shit in shows, something to do with they would use quicklime and help light up the stage and shit for plays. So that's what
Oh,
that's where it came from. So quicklime.
interesting. Yeah, anyway, yeah, I don't know. She very well might have been taken advantage of. You're right. I think I'm being really unfair as to why she got famous. She didn't necessarily ask for that. She went viral. Like she probably didn't even know. So yeah, I'm gonna take all that back.
If I
Um,
was viral for saying something fucking stupid, I'd try to milk that shit too. I don't think I would fucking rip people off though.
yeah. Well, again, maybe she didn't intend for that to
Yeah.
happen, you know. And I know you've told me in the past that she's done a lot
Totally,
of work with animals and
I would
stuff.
totally
So
blow this show up if I could.
what, this show?
Yeah, look how famous I look. Oh, but who's this fucking guy? He said hot too.
We're not good looking enough. I don't think.
I don't think it has anything to do if she was cute or not.
It definitely has something to do
I
with
just
it.
thought the whole thing.
You don't think a lot of her followers just follow her because she's pretty?
Do you
Just
follow
saying.
people? Follow people? Do you follow chicks just because they're pretty?
A lot of guys do. I don't know. I don't, but a lot of guys do. Jeffrey, do we have to talk about OnlyFans? I mean,
Yo, I have never looked at OnlyFans in my entire
me
life.
neither. Well, actually, that's a lie. I looked once because I worked with a girl who did OnlyFans, and I
But
looked at
I
her
do
page.
support OnlyFans because why give your money to porn when you have local business?
Oh, that's a long conversation. I'm not sure I want to have it. There's pros to OnlyFans, like you just mentioned, but there's a whole lot of negatives that come along with it too. Um,
Why? You're the one who's got to fucking live with it.
no, it's not that, man. It's look what it does to society, right? Like, so
Um,
right now you have kids that are coming out of high school that are like, should I go pursue a career and make 60, 70K a year and struggle? Or should I just take off my clothes and make, 10,000, 10, 20 grand a month, you
I
know?
feel you.
So yeah, I think it's destructive to our society in that regard. But do I want to ban OnlyFans? No. Like, of
No,
course
I
not.
see what you're saying. I was just going along with the joke, man, about support local business
Anyway,
for the pros. You know what I mean?
yeah. I forgot why I even mentioned OnlyFans
I
anyway. I had a point.
fucking that the high school chicks you were in love with all got OnlyFans now.
Yeah. Well, I guess what I was trying to say is like, who do we blame for OnlyFans? What were you saying?
And so what's weird is like the moms who have their kids help them because they're not computer literate, so like their kid helps them run the page.
Yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of that, and I really think it's degrading to our society as a whole. You know, again, do I want to ban it? No, but maybe
Then
we should try to make it not cool. You know,
right, then what do we do? So we can't outlaw it because then
I don't want to outlaw it. I just want to make it so it's not cool. You know, to deter kids from jumping right into the OnlyFans game instead of trying to actually like make something of themselves. You know.
maybe in a little bit it'll be gone, just like every other fad.
Yeah, maybe. But my point in mentioning OnlyFans, right, is that like yeah, how many guys out there like, do you think follow ugly OnlyFans models?
I
I'm
need.
sure there's some.
The fridge is right next to me. Keep telling me about OnlyFans.
Yeah, well that's my point, is that like what I'm trying to say is some of Haley's followers no doubt follow her cuz she's pretty. And some of her followers follow her because they genuinely probably like what she has to say. Some of her followers follow her because she does charity for animals and they love animals. You know. So I think there's like a multitude of reasons why people would listen to
I
her.
don't think I follow anyone because I think they're hot.
That's not me and you though. But you're not thinking of the typical male, or the typical female, maybe even gay female, that may just watch her or just like her because they're attracted to her. It's sex sells, man. It's always gonna sell. You know.
Do you ever watch reaction videos?
Yeah, sometimes.
The people who have like never heard Nas or never heard Woo.
Yeah, I've seen some of those. Yeah.
I forget how I got into it, but I started following this one group. It's a group. They're called, I think it's the Carter family or the Cartier family.
Yeah, I've seen them before. Yeah, a
So-
bunch of the black guys. They're all brothers.
College dorm in one of the bedrooms. And sometimes there's 4, sometimes there's 5.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, they're funny. I like them.
so yeah, that's funny because I started following them I forget what song came out or how I saw it. It's like, oh, group reacts to hearing Woo for the first time. And I think that shit is cool when you hear like people are like, oh shit, they hear like, some old school Nas or something like that. They're like, what
Yeah.
the fuck? You know what I mean? And then the Cartier kids started going into politics and pop culture and shit like that. And they're not who I thought they were gonna be. And they're actually fucking on point with a lot of the stuff that they say, they analyze.
Maybe they're keeping up. You know.
Yeah, well, they started on, like I said, the reason I kept following them is because they adjusted. They stopped doing reactions to. I mean, I'm
Well,
sure they see some,
now they probably have a big enough fan base where they can talk about like more important things, you know. And maybe they still do reaction videos too, just for fun.
but I'm,
You know?
yeah, they didn't. They grew into that because they got interested, and then they listened to Soul, and they're like, oh shit, that guy's right. That guy's right. Oh shit, I didn't think about it like that. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I love people who are willing to listen to shit that they're not normally going to listen to because they're already have predetermined notions in their head.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh shit, look at this guy. And everything they said I was told was wrong. And this guy explained it to me.
I was talking to my coworker about that yesterday. She's what we would refer to as being awake. And she's been awake for a long time.
Okay.
Anyway, we were talking about open-mindedness versus narrow-mindedness, and one of the really important things to waking up to the truth, like what's really fucking going on, is you have to have an open mind, or at least somewhat of an open mind. If you're closed off, and you already know everything and nothing that, no new information is going to sway your opinion, then you're just doomed to never learn anything. You're definitely not going to wake up. You'll remain asleep for probably the rest of your life. So I think that that's really important to, be able to.
Yeah, look at it. I did. I was the hardest of hard Republicans, man.
I know you're an idiot. So was I.
I supported the war in Iraq, and even when I knew that there weren't weapons of mass destruction, I still made excuses that it was okay anyway. And then we went into that was Afghanistan, and then we went into Iraq, and I was like, he didn't have them, and I'm like, well, he tried to kill the president. We can't have that, and that's bullshit too.
Yeah.
So,
well,
once you realize that everything they told you is a fucking lie, everything's a fucking lie.
But again, there comes that open-mindedness. You have to be willing to acknowledge that you were wrong. And not that you were wrong about one thing, but you were probably wrong about. I've been wrong about so many things, countless things.
So long, dude. So long. At least I can be like I was drunk. I have that excuse.
Right.
I can be like I sobered up and got my shit together, which is also true. But damn, I wasted so much fucking time.
I try not to be too hard on myself or anybody else. That's why I try to be real patient with people that still don't know what the hell's going on, because we were there. I was there. You were there. We know what that is, and it's just the programming is just so powerful,
It's unbelievable.
Especially if it's one of the strongest psychological things is repetition. Telling yourself or hearing something over and over and over again until you believe it.
One of the top 3 steps in Propaganda 101.
Yes. Until you believe it so blindly that of course that's true. Like, I don't even question that because I've heard it a million times.
Repeat it over and over, and story becomes fact. It's in the CIA fucking handbook. They have a handbook on it.
I'm sure it is.
Mike Benz brings up this whole thing. They have like a scenario that they ran. It was like a practice scenario, right? And something happened in some 2% countries in West Africa and what they would do. And it has a lot to do with US aid funding, blah, 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 blah. And then pushing this message, blah, 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 blah. And part of the propaganda is from the CIA handbook code, whatever the fuck, when step number 3 is repetition.
Repeat. Yes.
It's literally, they write this shit down on what they're going to do.
Yeah. And you can use this for positive things too, like you can reprogram your brain, that's like what they call like affirmations and stuff, where you wake up in the minute, the morning and you're like, I'm awesome, I'm great, or whatever, but you can use it for positive things too. almost kind of like will something into existence. But it does take a long time. And the longer that, obviously you do it, the stronger the idea becomes, Obviously here they're using it for negative purposes, but
So before we get into the little clips or whatever we have, how's the movie world? Anything? What's the big movie?
right now it's Captain America.
Oh, I forgot that's out. Have you seen it yet?
No, I'm not gonna watch it.
No.
Yeah, I don't really. I think MCU lost me like a couple years ago. I watched
Good.
Deadpool and Wolverine, but I don't really consider that
I haven't seen
MCU.
any of the Deadpools.
But you're missing out because the
Yeah.
Deadpool movies are awesome.
There's a couple movies that I know I'm missing out on that I haven't seen. I haven't seen The Big Lebowski. If you can believe it.
Oh my God! What?
Dude.
Where's the money, Lebowski?
Where's the money, Lebowski? Where's the fucking money, shithead?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
Yeah, that movie's awesome.
At the same time, how many movies do I know that motherfuckers don't know? And I can
That's
do-
true. That's true.
But it was a good clip going around of it's the Eminem movie. So it's 8 Mile.
8
When
Mile.
So it's the end when Papa Doc's getting dissed.
Anthony Mackie.
Time Papa Doc gets dissed, it goes back to another like Avenger, like looking over at Anthony Mackie. And then it goes to like Airsoft looking at Anthony Mackie, like in that one scene of the Avengers.
Yeah.
It's like his real name's Clarence. And
But I know something about you. You went to Cranbrook. That's a private school. What's the matter, dog? You embarrassed? This guy's a gangster. His real name's Clarence. And Clarence lives at home with both parents. And Clarence's parents have a real good marriage. This guy don't want to battle. He's shook. Cause ain't no such things as halfway crook.
Yeah, I like Anthony Mackie actually. He's great. He's in a bunch of things that I like. He's not Captain America. I'm sorry, Anthony.
How does the real story work in the comics?
So they actually do have this character arc in the comics. So there's a couple different arcs, right? And one of them is that Steve Rogers.
Does Falcon become Captain
In
America?
one of the arcs, he does.
Okay,
but
that's fine.
it's very poorly received. I never read it, but I listen to comic nerds and stuff talk about this, like Nerdrotic or whatever. He used to own a comic book shop. He's like super nerd, and he's like, they did this in the comic books where they tried to make Sam Wilson, aka Falcon, Captain America, and it failed miserably. And now they're trying to put it on screen, and it still doesn't work. There's another one where the Winter Soldier, Bucky, the guy with the metal arm, where he passes it to him. I don't know how that's well received, but for me, it doesn't matter because to me, Steve Rogers is Captain America. I don't give a fuck about the shield. I don't give a shit about the super serum. The Steve Rogers to me is appealing because of his moral compass.
Yeah, Captain America. It's like giving Thor his hammer to somebody else and calling that motherfucker Thor.
Which they did in the fucking last Thor movie. They didn't call Jane Thor, but they did give her the hammer. Yeah, it's just, again, it's no offense to Sam Wilson. I like the Falcon. He's cool as shit. Why didn't you just make a Falcon movie? But
That's cool. I do like Falcon.
he's cool, and
Yeah.
Anthony Mackie plays him well.
I like Anthony Mackie's delivery of his characters. He's got that.
He's good.
He's a wisecracker. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
I like his delivery.
But he's not Steve Rogers. He's not Captain America. So
And then what's up with my man Robert Downey Jr. coming back as Doctor Doom? Is that true?
Yeah, it's true. I don't like that either.
Are they gonna make jokes like you look just like Iron Man?
Well, he's probably going to be wearing the mask most of the time, so they'll be able to get away with that.
Okay, so when he doesn't have the mask on, is everyone gonna call him Tony Stark?
I don't know. You guys really are you guys kidding me? You guys couldn't find anybody else that would have been good to play Doctor Doom? We had to bring somebody back who was the main staple in the MCU.
If it wasn't for Iron Man, I don't think it would have gone the way it went.
Out of anybody, it probably wouldn't. But out of anybody that you could bring back, that's the worst idea I've ever heard. I like Robert Downey. He's a good actor and all that. He's a great actor. But come on, man.
Favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie?
What's that?
What's your favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie?
Oh, my favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie. honestly, man, it's probably one of the MCU films. It's probably Endgame.
Have you
I do like Sherlock Holmes too as well.
Have you seen The Judge?
No.
When he's a lawyer, and his mother dies, so he has to go back home, and his father is Robert Duvall, and he's the judge of the town, and he gets into a DUI or he kills. It's a fucking great movie. Gomer Pyle's in it. Good movie. It's a fucking solid movie. You'd like it.
Is that your favorite Robert Downey Jr. movie?
One of them. I like his character in. You ever see Johnny Be Good?
No.
With Anthony Michael Hall when he's the football player, the high school football player. They're trying to. It's an '80s comedy. So Robert Downey Jr. is on drugs. It's young Robert Downey Jr.
Right.
Anthony Michael Hall is probably a couple years after Breakfast Club because he's a little bit older and jockeyed up. So he is like Uma Thurman's in it. And
So it's after Breakfast Club, but before like Natural Born Killers, which Robert Downey Jr. was in.
So Anthony Michael Hall is Johnny. He's a great quarterback, right? So all the colleges are recruiting him. So he makes a mockery out of it, and it's a comedy. He gets in all types of trouble, and his coach at high school is trying to take advantage of him, and it's the principal from Breakfast Club is the same actor.
Oh.
So he's the dirtbag coach who's trying to get him to go to a college so he can get the job there. Like Texas wants him, and they're giving him all types of gifts so he'll come there, but he's just screwing around. It's funny.
It reminds me of the. Go ahead.
Johnny Be Good, man. I've seen it a bunch of times.
It reminds me of the dude in Dazed and Confused. You know, the quarterback.
Randall Pink Floyd.
Yeah, him.
That's what Randall Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a shit at this point. Yeah.
You know that Randall Pink Floyd and T.S. Quint are not the same person?
Really?
They're twin brothers. Jason and Jeremy Landon.
Oh, no shit.
Dude from Mallrats is not the dude from
Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
No shit. Anyway, yeah, that's the big movie in the theater right now.
Dazed and Confused movie I've seen 1,000 times too. I love that movie.
Which one?
Dazed and Confused.
Oh yeah, that movie's great. Yeah. But yeah, that's what's in right now.
So that makes it amazing.
Honestly, there's nothing in the theater right now that I actually really want to see. The only movie I actually kind of want to see is Dogman. It's like a silly Pixar film, but it's funny. Like the trailers made me laugh out. You know, because when we're taking orders and stuff, sometimes we're in the theater. You know, like while the movie's playing.
Mm-hmm.
So even if I don't watch it, like I've seen the first 10 minutes of Captain America now probably 5 or 6 times.
Gotcha.
You know? And yeah, just in the Dogman for, first couple minutes, it's kind of fucking funny. Oh, I also want to see that movie with Cat Williams, One of Them Days.
Uh-huh.
It's with some girl named SZA. I don't know if she's like a rapper or something.
I know the name.
It's 2 girls. I think one's a comedian and the other one's a rapper or something like that. But Cat Williams is in it, and I've seen the first 15 minutes of that movie a couple times already, and it makes me laugh out loud. So I want to watch that too.
You saw the Cat Williams with the Mexico guy, right?
With the heckler, yeah.
Motherfucker.
Yeah. I love Cat Williams. He's funny.
Yeah. It used to be Mexico, and now it's Phoenix.
Are you Mexican? Do you know where Mexico is? No, this ain't Mexico. It used to be Mexico, motherfucker, and now it's Phoenix, goddammit.
That's pretty good. That was a good impression of him. Yeah. What do we have here?
I finally finished that Homefront movie. Not fucking worth it, dude.
Nah, skip it.
Real letdown. It was almost like, dude, it could have been a fucking Hallmark movie. It was that cheesy.
Well, that is disappointing. Let me pull some of this stuff up so we can.
It's identical to the fucking TV show.
Is it?
Yeah, like I don't care. No, I'm not spoiling shit because no one's gonna watch the fucking movie anyway. So like there's like two of the kids are on like guard duty, right? Up in the middle of up in the mountains or whatever, and two lone hunters who are just looking for food stumble onto their land, right? Two completely out of shape, wearing orange vest type shit hunters.
Mm-hmm.
But they're looking through the scope of the rifle up on top of the hill because they see the reflection of the other kid's rifle. So they're staring at each other through guns. And the people at home base tell the kid to shoot the guy, the hunter. And that's kind of the whole action of the fucking movie. And that's pretty much the first 2 episodes of the TV show where I stopped watching the TV show. But like different actors, same fucking thing. Like they made a movie and a show to go together, but made the first 2 episodes of the show the movie with different actors. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, so they basically just rehashed the same thing.
So like here's the movie.
Yeah.
And then there's a TV series to follow up to keep you going.
Yeah.
They basically did the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's kind of like when they remade Psycho and they cast Vince Vaughn, and it's literally a shot-for-shot remake. The whole movie's the same. Like everything's the same. They just swapped in Vince Vaughn as Psycho, as Norman Bates or whatever. Yeah, obviously it wasn't well received.
I can't believe you've never seen Wolf of Wall Street, dude. You didn't like Wolf of Wall Street.
Oh, I've seen Wolf of Wall Street a couple times. I just don't like it.
It's hysterical.
I like the one scene where he's all quaaluded out and he's trying to get in his car.
Oh,
that
yeah.
shit's funny.
That part's great.
Yeah, that's funny. But other than that, again, who am I supposed to be rooting for? Like normally, like there's somebody in the film somewhere that I'm like, I like this person. I'm gonna cheer for them, or I'm gonna hope that they, wind up with a happy ending. There's nobody in that movie where I'm like, hey, I really hope this person has a happy ending at the end of the movie. They're all terrible people.
Who cares? It's funny.
I'm just explaining why I don't really like the movie.
It's fucking mobster movies. I'm not supposed to I'm not supposed to have a hero. Michael Corleone isn't a good guy.
No, he's not. But there might be somebody else in the movie that you might sympathize with,
Oh, yeah, his poor wife. Poor cat.
There you go. But there's nobody in Wolf of Wall Street that I'm like, hey, that's a good person. I'm gonna cheer for them.
Yeah, but then his daughter dies at the end. That's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
All right, who's this bitch?
So this is just funny. I just found this earlier. It's quick.
All right, show it.
Dale, va, dale.
Got her. I don't know. It was something like the mom or something with the daughter. Like,
Dale.
The daughter's in trouble for something, and then you see her just running down the street. Mom hits her with a shoe.
Is that fake or not?
Great aim.
I don't know. Every time the thing goes off a screen, I can't tell.
It's hard to see. It's even hard to see for me.
Give me the Wolf of Wall Street one because it's my favorite it's like one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
All right.
You know that Rob Reiner's in it and he fucking sucks.
Who?
In real life.
Who is?
Go to the beginning. The dad.
This is the beginning.
Dad is Rob Reiner. You know who Rob Reiner is?
Rob Reiner, like the director and shit? Yeah, I know he is. Yeah, he sucks in real life. Yeah.
He's a great actor.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
1 month, Jordy? Huh? $430,000 fucking dollars in 1 fucking month.
Good morning. They're business expenses. Relax.
Business expenses?
Yes.
Jordy, look what you got here.
What?
Look at this. $26,000 for 1 fucking dinner.
Okay, no. This could be explained. Dad, we had the Pfizer clients.
Right, the porterhouse from Argentina.
The expensive champagne, the wine. We had to buy champagne. And you ordered all the fucking sides. Tell them about the sides you ordered.
The sides, son.
Sides?
Yeah.
Sides? $26,000 worth of sides? What are these sides? They cure cancer?
The sides did cure cancer. That's the problem. They were there. That's why they were expensive.
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. I know.
Stop.
And EJ Entertainment. What the fuck is EJ Entertainment?
Well, that's
Yeah, Jordan, what's
How
EJ
do I
Entertainment?
describe this?
Jordan, what is that?
It's a fucking prostitution ring, Jordy.
I know.
That's what it is.
That is what it is.
Isn't that the perfect description for it?
That is what it is. But none of these were charged to me. This is all of them.
Oh,
And
that
I had
was
nothing
all
to do-
us.
It wasn't me though. Fucking explain this shit to him.
Well, I
These are
thought-
all your fucking charges right here.
You guys, the IRS, they allow for TNA. It's fine.
T&E. TNE.
Yeah, I said TNE.
No, you said TNA.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
You did.
Yeah,
When did
you
I
did.
say
You
that?
said TNA. It's TNE. All right.
I know you're upset about the dinner, and that makes sense.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's good, right?
That's funny. I don't know who makes this stuff, but they do good work.
About like, because I was in mortgages for a minute, so like sales movies, like that, Boiler Room, Glengarry Glen Ross, and Wall Street. Like knowing when you're like you've been in the restaurant business, now you like waiting's different for you now when you watch the movie. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. Here, I have another one that I brought up. This is just, I got sad stuff. Here's the first of two sad clips. They're unrelated.
At least you don't have to be showing people getting whacked.
You love that stuff.
I know.
This is 60 Minutes. This is, here, I'm just going to play it.
It's illegal to display Nazi symbolism, a swastika, or deny the Holocaust. That's clear. Is it a crime to insult somebody in public?
Yes.
Yes, it is.
And it's a crime to insult them online as well?
Yes.
The fine could be even higher if you insult someone in the internet.
This is Germany, by the way.
Why?
Because in internet, it stays there. If we are talking here face to face, you insult me, I insult you, okay, finish. But if you're in the internet, if I insult you or a politician...
That sticks around forever.
Yeah.
The prosecutors explain German law also prohibits the spread of malicious gossip, violent threats, and fake quotes.
If somebody posts something that's not true, and then somebody else reposts it or likes it, are they committing a crime?
Yeah, in the case of reposting, it is a crime as well, because the reader can't distinguish whether you just invented this or just reposted it. That's the same for us.
The punishment for breaking hate speech laws can include jail time for repeat offenders. But in most cases, a judge levies a stiff fine and sometimes keeps their devices.
How do people react when you take their phones from them?
They are shocked. It's a kind of punishment if you lose your smartphone. It's even worse than the fine you have to pay.
Because your whole life is typically on your phone now.
What the fuck is going on in Germany?
We're not too far from that, man.
This is crazy. I mean, you can't insult somebody, and if you repost a post that insults somebody?
Under the DNC campaign motto, even when Biden was there, and especially when Kamala came in, had to do with.
I know we've had our struggles with censorship, but we're not here. That's crazy.
Controlling the flow of information.
I know, but we're not here, man. That's crazy.
We're not there yet. Europe's always the testing ground for us.
That's fair. God, I hope we never get there. That's awful.
Well, because we have guns, man. Because
True.
we Americans have guns. They can't pull all this fucking shit yet.
True. But I mean, just could you imagine? Like, damned if you're ever going to tell me that we can't say whatever the fuck we're going to say. Yeah, you can take us off YouTube and all that, but I'll be damned if I can't stand in the middle of the street and say what I want to say. That's the First Amendment. You know, assuming that I'm not threatening somebody's life or violence against somebody, that's different.
Yeah, freedom of speech is freedom of speech, Paul.
Yes.
There's no pussyfooting around it. You either have it or you don't.
Yeah, I agree. It's one or the other. There's no middle ground.
You can't be free speech, you know.
So this next one I have, this is also really sad. I don't know if this is 100% accurate because, well, I question this guy. He posts some stuff that I think is accurate, and sometimes he posts some stuff that I'm pretty sure is straight up bullshit. So this is allegedly drone footage of Gaza.
So far, it looks accurate.
Yeah, this is awful, man. I was just reading something earlier about how somebody was complaining that, like, oh, well, then this is what they get. You know, and I get it. What happened on October 7th was awful, you know. But we're talking, what, dozens of Israelis, something like that? 100, maybe 200 at most. It's terrible.
1,200.
Well, how much?
1,200.
1,200 Israelis were kidnapped or killed?
Oh, yeah.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure.
All right, we'll go with your numbers. Regardless, it's awful. It's terrible.
Pretty sure it cracked 1,000.
Whatever it is, it's terrible. Like I said, we're not condoning it. But this, I'm just going to play it. Hang on.
There's no running water. There's no bridges. There's no fucking roads. Part
There's
of what
nothing.
Part of what Israel does when they attack and move into Gaza, when they were cutting it up, they go in with bulldozers and cut a line in the middle of the street and fuck up the roads on purpose. They are systematically destroying the territory of Gaza, so there's nothing for them to come back to. Because even if you let them back in, where the fuck are they going to live? Where are they going to get water? Where are they going to work? Where are they going to get food? Relocates the nice place. This is why Israel is behind the TikTok ban. You don't see this on Facebook. You don't see this on YouTube. You don't see it on Instagram. Jim Carrey. Case.
What were we saying?
In the movie Liar Liar, right? When Jim Carrey's got to tell the truth, and the judge asks him why he's objecting to something. He's like, because it's very damaging to my case.
Yeah, he does say that.
Yeah, well, that's how Israel feels about TikTok. They can't show it because it's very damaging to their case.
That's awful, man.
Good call. Oh yeah, that's been like that for months now.
I didn't see the footage of it like this. I saw short
The
clips.
West Bank soon. They're trying to annex the West Bank too.
That's awful, man.
Yeah, well, we're fucking helping them.
Well, we are not helping.
We're about to move in there and help rebuild the fucking place, and still kick the Palestinians out. Do we have anything else? They don't end on such a downer.
Yeah, you have a couple more.
That really took the wind out of your sails, huh, Paul?
Yo, that shit fucks me up, man. That's so fucked up. You have a couple more things.
What do you got for me?
Something with Marco Rubio.
Oh, I forget what it is. Let's see our.
Here, this is a little more fun. The Pride.
Let's see our Secretary of State.
Oh, okay, I'll pull that up.
Well, he was standing in a country where free speech was weaponized to conduct a genocide. And he met with the head of a political party.
Free speech weaponized to conduct genocide. Let that sink in.
That has far-right views.
It's crazy these days.
What the fuck?
And some historic ties to extreme groups. The context of that was changing the tone of it. And you know that the censorship
I have to disagree with
was
you.
specifically about the right.
No, I have to disagree with you. Free speech was not used to conduct a genocide. The genocide was conducted by an authoritarian Nazi regime that happened to also be genocidal because they hated Jews and they hated minorities and they hated those that they had a list of people they hated, but primarily the Jews. There was no free speech in Nazi Germany. There was none. There was also no opposition in Nazi Germany. They were a sole and only party that governed that country. So that's not an accurate reflection of history.
Well,
tell that bitch.
Yeah, free speech weaponized.
Like the ability to reach out with your fingertips and learn more about World War II. All of World War II. I'm not talking about just the Germans. It's about the Japanese and what happened in China and all the other shit. All of it. You can learn more about it in 20 minutes than you could your entire time in high school and learn that most of the shit they told you is not really true.
Yes.
Or is at least
twisted.
Yeah, or like just completely ignoring anything that's important that happened there to enforce some kind of narrative. Like you can't like.
Well, if it doesn't go along with the narrative, we need to remove it.
Yeah, like Hitler was bad, yeah, but you can't just call every bad person Hitler and like that just be the end of it. Or like every scenario now we can compare to World War II, and it's like Chamberlain was wrong, and we should have stopped Hitler at Munich, and anything evil is Nazi. It's just terrible. It's not even like a fair assessment of anything. You smell it? You're the one reading the fucking book.
Yeah, I disagree with a lot of all of this that's been said in the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Free speech started a genocide that makes absolutely zero sense. Like, how dumb can you be to even say something like that?
I have never. I don't know. I don't really want to get into all that. It's a lot, but
right.
yeah, I don't believe a lot of that what was just said. But I do feel that free speech causing genocide is a ridiculous fucking statement. That's just okay. This is why the legacy media is falling apart. Tim Burchett earlier today, or maybe it was yesterday, he was on CNN. And this is probably like the 4th or 5th time I've seen him do this in the last month. He's getting into these arguments with these people on the news, whether he's on, NBC or it's usually CNN, I feel like. And for some reason they keep inviting him back, but they keep shutting him down while he's on the show. It's kind of funny.
You see, I don't watch Pierce because
I watch Pierce.
Too many people on it. It gets annoying because they all start talking. It's hard to. It's hard.
He usually does a good job of controlling them, but yes, that does happen.
But I've seen that my boy Dave Smith's been on there a lot lately.
Yep. I like Pierce. I don't agree with everything that he says, but I do agree with a lot of what he says. I think me and him mostly agree on most topics. I do watch him.
I can't. I'll try to catch it when Dave's on, but even when Dave's on there, there's 4 people yelling.
Well, like I said, he usually does a good job of like regulating it and not letting just people shout, because then you can't hear anything or follow what the hell's even going on.
The worst people. I can't stand Destiny. That guy's a fucking.
Who likes that dude? I mean, I know he's got followers, but I'm not really sure why. Wasn't he a gamer? I'm guessing all of his followers just still follow him because they play whatever game they like, or I don't know. That guy's an idiot.
Maybe he's just the closest thing to liberal that they. I don't know. I don't get it.
He's an idiot.
I think he's a fucking moron.
He is.
Sorry, I don't agree with pretty much anything that he says.
No, I don't think I've ever heard anything intelligent come out of his mouth. I don't listen to him all that often, but yeah, he was on Piers, I think last week. Yeah, he said a bunch of ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, usually he's getting pummeled by somebody I do respect.
He's always getting pummeled. Every time I see him in a debate with somebody, he's getting crushed.
And Shmuley, he fucking sucks.
Another idiot, yeah. Well, he was on there with Candace Owens, probably about a month or 2 ago. And yeah, he gets destroyed. But I mean, that guy's such a fool anyway. Wasn't he on there with Dave Smith too? Rabbi Shmuley?
He might have been once. I usually just he just yells and
he was on there with somebody recently.
It's just everybody's a racist and
everybody hates Jews. That's where he's at. I'm oppressed. I'm a victim. Everybody hates us. And if you don't agree with what I say, you hate Jews too. That's basically his argument.
What did you think? Speaking of race and everybody playing the race card lately, how did you feel about the halftime show, the Super Bowl?
I didn't really watch it. I just know that Kendrick performed the song that he disses Drake in.
Yeah.
Why? What's the race argument?
It's just the race card. I mean, he was just, I don't necessarily he was playing as much as trying to show a divided nation. But there was only Americans in the show, and Samuel L. Jackson being Uncle Sam.
Oh, I saw that.
And somehow I don't really pay attention because once they start blaming white people for things, I just stop paying attention.
Again, I wasn't really watching it because I was actually working.
Well, I didn't notice any of that shit while it was on. I'm just talking about everything I noticed afterwards when people are recognizing it. Because personally, I think fucking Kendrick Lamar sucks. I don't like his music. He doesn't have a
he doesn't do it for me. People always rave about him, and I've read some of his lyrics, you know, specifically the Drake song, and it's creative. I don't think his flow works for
I
me.
feel you. I mean, I'm just not a fan of his music. Doesn't mean he sucks or anything like that. I'm just not a fan of his music. So like,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh, you only like people only don't white people don't like it because of whatever the fuck. I'm like, no.
Well, we love hip hop, and if you've listened to our channel, you've heard a lot of hip hop references. I've even played some tracks on the.
Well, people in general, they're trying to make it like MAGA doesn't get it because they're racist, and there's all videos of like, oh, you should have like this is what they should have had like Kid Rock or something, and it's like the fucking race card, dude. The fucking
Yeah,
race
I don't know. I don't have an issue at all with Kendrick Lamar doing the halftime show.
Maybe because it's February, and maybe because it's probably mostly because it's Trump in office. But when you don't have an argument or something important to say, the left has a rule book that they tend to fall back onto. And it's the race card. And, it's Hitler. And you're white. Oh, and you're a man. God forbid you're a man.
Yeah, especially if you're a white man nowadays, you're like the devil. Yeah, I try not to really get into those conversations
I don't have them either, so I'm having it with you. I don't have it.
Yeah, no, with you, we're reasonable people.
I do pick up on the subtle shit, and then when you pay attention, you just happen to notice when certain things are being said more than other things.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a couple major reasons that the Democrats lost the election, right? One of the big ones is the economy. The other one's immigration, you know, and there's a couple other thrown in there. But one of the big ones is definitely the DEI / LGBTQ 7654H, whatever the hell we're up to, community. And I think, you know, when
on men and masculinity.
well, yeah, I think it's you know, I don't think that any of that stuff's true. Yeah, it is to a small degree. Like racism exists.
They want masculinity to be like strong and violent and angry, and that's what men do. They attack when it's not, and it's completely about being a provider and protecting, and most likely sacrifice. That's what masculinity is about.
Yeah,
doing the right thing, providing for your family, and protecting the weak, and sacrificing yourself for the good of others in your family. That's masculinity.
I think when we think of like the you know, the patriarch of the family, you know, like who's the strong father? Yeah, he's those things. He's protective. He's, you know, he'll sacrifice himself for his wife or his kids or whatever.
It's not whatever the fuck they want to paint it to be to make the youngers come up and think a different way about what it means to be masculine.
I think that's
they want drones. They want easier people who don't put up a fight, who won't ask questions, and who just go along with the fucking program.
Yeah, I think that's true.
It's not America, Jack.
Well, there's you know, again, I just think that the media, this is just these are divisive tactics, right? Just to divide us. So one way to divide us is by sex. You know, let's just alienate the men. Oh, okay, let's go one step further than that. Let's blame the white men. You know, let's go one step further than that. You know, let's say it's alpha male white men.
Well,
you know,
it's part of progressive theory, which is based on critical theory, which at the end of the day is all fucking Marxist shit.
Yes.
Because the progressives are fucking Marxists.
Yes.
And you can't have a planned economy, and it just doesn't fucking work. And if you listened to anything besides the fucking television, you would know that.
Well, it's silly. It's very silly too to blame like a whole demographic of people for something. Like that's ridiculous. I don't care what the demographic is, you know. And you got all these stereotypes. You can say what you will or what you won't. You know, all middle-aged white women love pumpkin coffee. A lot of them do, not all of them.
It's
you know, what's that?
You just said it. It's about division and it's about control.
Yeah, it's about dividing us. You know. Which is why I never really engage in the racial debate. Occasionally it comes up at work. Usually the only time I'm actually ever talking about it is at work because of Hollywood. because they keep putting this DEI shit, you know, in their movies. And we don't really have to do anything about it. They're going to implode all on their own. Like the Hollywood has been going downhill since 2019. Part of that was due to COVID. And then the rest, go ahead.
Like one of the ones they like to use when it comes to voter ID, right, is that poor people can't get IDs.
Yeah.
Right? Now imagine being a person in poverty and then having a bunch of privileged white people being like, you don't even know how to get an ID. You know what I mean? That's like almost racist in itself by calling them stupid.
It is racist. DEI in itself is racist, right?
I mean, you can't do shit without an ID.
Yeah. Oh, you know the chick from Wicked, Cynthia Urvino or whatever her name is?
That weird lady with the fucking
Yeah, she looks kind of like a witch, like pun
Yeah,
intended, but like she looks like a witch in real life to me too.
She's gonna be Jesus.
Yes.
It's the Netflix version of Jesus.
I mean, what the fuck? Like, what the actual fuck? Why don't we get a dude to play Mary too while we're at it? Like, what the fuck?
They probably will. They'll probably be a transgender.
Probably, you know.
Because they want to attack religion.
Well, I think that's part of it, yeah.
Well, it is because they don't want people going to church and being part of a community.
Not religion specifically, though, but mostly Christianity is what they normally go after.
Whatever, Paul. Organized religion. It's about being involved in your community and not worshiping the state, which is why they're breaking down the family, because they don't want you to be part of the family. They want you to be part of the state, which is why in North Korea and in China and in Russia back in the day, when kids went to school, they were encouraged to snitch on their parents when they heard their parents say something out of line. Break down the family, you break down the sense of culture, and it has to do with organized religion and all that shit to control the masses.
Yeah, I would have to agree with that.
I'm not making it up. It's fucking written down. And it's happened before.
Yeah. Like I said, I try not to engage in a lot of conversation with that. I will, but like I don't really like. It's not something that I normally try to bring up because again, it's just it's division at the end of the
day. The argument when some people bring up like, oh, you know, like we need like civil rights and affirmative action. How good that was. You know what? It really wasn't that good.
Well, they framed it so it sounded great.
Yeah, because it sounds good.
Yeah.
But if you do the homework and you read people like Soul or Williams, who are black, by the way, so that gets rid of that argument. And I hate that I have to use someone like Soul and Williams to say that they're black because if they weren't, they'd be like, oh, you're just listening to another white guy. You know what I mean? So listen to the people who have done the work, the research, or written books, and have been there to tell you about it. And then those arguments fall apart when you actually dig into them.
I totally agree. One of the best takes I've ever heard on. Go ahead.
So just like the ID argument, once you break down these excuses that they use and blame everything, the stats and the facts just don't add up to the story.
Well, yeah, one of the best takes I've ever heard on the whole racism thing is Morgan Freeman. You want to make racism go away? Stop talking about it.
Yeah, his view on Black History Month is great.
Yes.
Jewish History Month. He's like, what the fuck?
Technically, it's racist. I mean, can you tell me American history right now and not mention black people? And I don't mean as slaves. I mean their contributions to history.
Let me ask you another question. Do you need the federal government to dedicate a month to anything?
Every month is Black History Month.
It doesn't matter if no months are Black History Month.
No, what I'm saying is
you don't need permission from people to say it's okay to celebrate this now.
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
Why don't we have Hispanic history, Asian history, white history? It's ridiculous because all of us, all of the Americans, all of our history, we're all part of this history. Black history is American history. You cannot tell the history of America without talking about black people.
That's just the logical thing. The other thing I'm trying to get to, and it comes up with Juneteenth a lot. So there's a great article from Mises about Juneteenth, which has nothing to do with the actual what Juneteenth is. It has to do with what holidays are in general. And the government dictated. Well, I'll send you the article. You can attach it in the comments to this.
Sure.
But it has to do with, like, is it the government's job to tell us when Christmas is? You know what I mean? Like, it's okay to celebrate Christmas now. Like we couldn't figure that out on our own. Like, we have to have the government organize what days we can work and what days we can have off and all this stuff.
I don't know about you, but I can't wipe my ass unless the government gives me permission to do it. Thank you, government. I appreciate you guys looking out for us. You know?
What I'm glad is
reminding me that I need to wipe my ass after I take a shit. Thank you.
Well, the quote that I've been liking lately is that if kids started to go to school at 6 months and learn to walk in school, within a generation, we would think that we need the government to teach children how to walk.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's how it is. People, they've been doing it for so long that they can't fathom the idea of people figuring it out and not someone in Washington telling people what to do.
Yeah.
Not that the people who are elected aren't the same fucking people with the same errors in judgment that the rest of us make. You have a bunch of imperfect people trying to run an imperfect system and give them the power to make the decisions for us when it's not even their fucking field.
Yeah, it's fair.
I don't know. I guess that's a good note to end off on, Paulie.
Sure.
I said like and share earlier, so there's a reminder. And I guess we'll have another show when we have another show.
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah, have a nice day.
See you, buddy.
Peace.
Black History Month you find
ridiculous.
Why?
You're going to relegate my history to a month?
Oh, come on.
What do you do with yours? Which month is White History Month? No, well, come on, tell me.
Well, I'm Jewish.
Okay, which month is Jewish History Month?
There isn't one.
Oh, why not?
Yeah.
Do you want one?
No.
I don't either. I don't want a Black History Month. Black history is American history.
How are we going to get rid of racism?
Stop talking about it. I'm going to stop calling you a white man.
Yeah.
And I'm going to ask you to stop calling me a black man.